You guys talked about the 2 to 3 week sort of run, ticking clock, I guess, to get everything sort of done. When, especially on a version like this, like Wigloose, when you've locked, quote unquote, locked the songs, how much time do you have to get the musicians, to get the singers together to record this?
We usually, the songs are locked on a Wednesday. The vocalists are there coming by, my house on a Thursday, and the queens are delivered the Rusical on a Friday, for example.
Wow. Okay.
Sometimes there's an additional day. Sometimes there's 2 days of vocals, depending on how many vocals are depending on. It's usually once the songs are locked, then our text will change to who should do this voice. I think I can do this voice. I think Gabe, my producer, can do this voice. I know someone that can do 2 voices. And then just making sure that each voice, again, is a winning voice.
It takes a village.
Yep.
It does take a village. And I guess in that context is, are you telling certain singers, hey, can you keep this day free 3 weeks from now because I'm probably going to need you? Or are you just like, I hope she's available? Like,
I would say it's a bit of both. I mean, we've got our team that have sang with us for years and know, and when it's coming around. And so we touch base and let everyone know. And you're trying to write a Rusical that has equal parts for everyone and equal moments and everything. And so you really can't start to think about the voices until the songs and the length and the arrangements and the dialogue are all locked. And then I sort of pivot and say, okay, great, now let's bring it to life vocally. If the queens are recording them, if their voices are going to be on it, then we show up to set and do that. But if not, then we start to think about voices and I start to imagine it in my head with the Rolodex of singers.
Is Ru approving all the songs? Do you have to get Paramount sign off? Like, how does that sort of work? And then also, do you create full-on demos for each song beforehand?
Well, the demos are kind of, Leland will make demos for us to hear, and then we'll give our notes, and then he'll record the vocalist. So we have like in that 2-week period, that happens. But we have an amazing partnership, and I'm not just being blowing smoke, but it's like we send it to the network. The network just says yes at this point. There might be some kind of legal stuff. We're just always very careful. But we all listen to it. But we've done this enough times. And by the way, everybody has a great creative take too. And Leland is so cooperative, but we might play it for like Randy Barbado, who's one of the executive producers. He goes, oh, it'd be great if, he has some great queer idea. And we're like, oh yes, let's do that too. So the approval process is real, but it's not been difficult. And we first, knock on wood, for many, many, many years, we've all been on the same page.
There are versions of every Rusical that I've done where before it's filled in, it's me doing every voice and sounding absolutely insane. So that's the version that the team gets, is me doing sometimes.
I couldn't say that. You can. I can't say that.
That's okay. And so they're hearing me sound like this and sound like this and da 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 and doing all these voices. And then we start to bring it together in that way. So they listen and try to follow along as best they can. And with Wigloose, I think it was an exercise too in putting something together that we could also see live outside of the show, and feel like the story, you get that satisfaction at the end of the story. So much emotion is packed into this 12-minute Rusical. You have 5 unique songs. You get to see personalities. You get to see growth within the characters themselves. You get to see reveal. You get to see, and you get to write endings that you wished happened. And so that's what was so satisfying about this one. And I do feel like I grew a lot as a musician, and the more I do it, the more I am excited one day to write something for Broadway.
You talked about how there's basically a 48-hour turnaround time from the songs are approved you have them recorded, they're given to the queens in the context of the show. Afterward, do you go back and do final versions of the songs? Are the queens actually doing it to the final sound mixed versions that we hear on the show, or is that a post-production process later on?
Pretty close.
Yeah, because we want them to perform to something that sounds amazing. So it is not rough by any means. Like we basically, all we do at the end between filming and airing, which, you know, is 8 months, sometimes more, is just balancing basic mixing and making sure that you can hear everything. But we want it sounds, I wish I could take every Drag Race fan and bring them to the stage to watch a Rusical being filmed, because it is so loud and so exciting, and the energy in the room is unbelievable. And so the mix and everything, you want it all to sound really good. So we are pulling like crazy, and it's hours, and it's so fun, and it's not all the time. So when we are in this Rusical marathon mode, it's just the best mode to be in. And so yeah, so it sounds really great for the performance. And then maybe we'll add live horns in addition to the MIDI horns. Maybe we'll add some strings over a piano, or some, you know, just transitions or things like that. But everything is locked, and the voices that they lip sync to are the same voices that you hear at the end.